Hey guys, how's it going? Shimbob here, and today I just wanted to sort of reiterate something I've had in a previous video discussing controller layouts, custom button layouts, and how I have my controller set up. Just give you guys a few tips that'll really help you improve with any first-person shooter really. So I guess what I really wanted to mainly talk about in this video isn't anything too in-depth or tricky to understand. It's just the importance, I think, of using bumper jumper. It's a controller layout, a button layout that you might have heard of before. You might use it. I assume a lot of you all use it. And it's something that I've been using for a few years now, and it just, when I changed, it was just like one of the top, I'd say, 5 best things to improve my gaming in a first-person shooter. So I know that's a big call, but that's where I'm going to put it. Probably top 5 things you could do or get to improve your gaming experience, particularly for first-person shooters. So essentially, bumper jumper is just switching your jump button from what is usually the A button as default for most games to one of your bumpers. Primarily, it's the left bumper, I think, on Xbox and PlayStation, it's R1 or whatever that one is. And the core principle behind why you do this is so that you don't have to take your thumb off your right joystick to press A to jump. So you can still aim and move fluently through the air while jumping. There is another sort of alternative you can do to this that doesn't require buying a specific like scuff controller or anything too, and that is to learn to claw, which is basically where you use your middle finger as your trigger finger, and then your index or like pointer finger comes down and allows you to press your buttons like A, B, X and Y, etc. And that way you can still keep your thumb on the joystick. But I wanted to talk about bumper jumper because that's what I use, and it's a lot simpler than learning how to claw, which can take a while. It can put a lot of strain and stress on your hand too after you do it for a while. And bumper jumper just is a simple switch you can make. You play 3 or 4 games as it, and you're like fluent, and it's natural all of a sudden. It's so simple, so good, so effective. Now I guess ideally, and this is for myself as well, if I had the money for it to spare, you might purchase a scuff controller or an Xbox One Elite controller so that it has the paddles on the back, so you can do this anyway. But this is the alternate to that for the everyday gamer and someone who just wants to improve a bit without having to spend the money on the equipment to do so. So pretty much every first-person shooter released in the last like 5 or so years will have some sort of bumper jumper option in the menu. So you just go in there, switch it over, and if it's like Titanfall 2, it should have a custom button layout as well, where you can just change anything, like a lot of PC games are on the console for Titanfall 2 as well. You can change any button to whatever you want. So you can switch over to bumper jumper, and then sometimes when you do that though, I'll find that things like my melee and my like slide and stuff like that is on not such an optimal button. I think B and the joystick is what I usually have them on. And then when I'm in my Titan, it was still the same. So the good thing about Titanfall 2 is you can change them and have them exclusive from each other. So when I'm as a pilot, I have melee bound to B because I don't use it that often. I prefer to shoot people. And I have my slide bound to my joystick so I can slide hop. So crouch bound to joystick so I can slide hop. And then when I'm in my Titan, it's the other way around because I find I melee a lot more in a Titan than I crouch, because no one crouches unless you're teabagging at the end of a game. I don't really like doing that anyway. So basically, if you haven't tried bumper jumper before and you play Titanfall 2, then I recommend going in and having a look at these settings, switch over to bumper jumper, try it out, and sort of find out which buttons are sort of missing from where they were before and what will feel the most comfortable for you, and then switch them around. So it shouldn't really be too much fiddling around in the settings. It'll just be 1 or 2 buttons like me switching the melee and the crouch and stuff. There's bumper jumper tactical, I think, is usually an option, so that's a good place to start as well. And I know a lot of you guys watching this probably already do this, and none of this information is new to you, so I sort of apologize for that, but I know there'll be a large majority of you who don't know about this or just don't do this yet. And if you know about this and you don't do it yet just because you don't want to relearn it or anything like that, I highly recommend just giving it a try just for like your next 4 or 5 matches and see if you enjoy it, because like I said, it would be in one of the top 5 tips I could give to you to improve your first person shooter game, like up there with getting a headset, up there with getting a smaller monitor or a smaller TV screen to play on so you don't have input lag. I would say it would almost be top 3 with those things now that I think about it, because aiming is the most important thing in a first person shooter. Aiming and strafing in gunfights is the most important thing, and I know in Titanfall 2 people camp a lot and stuff, so you're not always getting in a 1v1 gunfight, but if you can run and jump and move and aim and go exactly where you want to all the time, then you can outmaneuver people a lot better. So then those gunfights that aren't straight up 1v1 gunfights will be in your advantage anyway, so why not do it? So having this sort of controller setup and layout is getting increasingly more important these days, with a lot more games like Titanfall coming out where the maneuverability and stuff like that is just, it's getting more and more. So you've got to keep up and you've got to be able to be agile and aim while moving like a crazy person. So for me, it started a lot back in Call of Duty was Advanced Warfare. Was that the one with the exosuits? The first one they had with exosuits where you're jumping all over the shop. That's where I got into bumper jumping, and man, you needed to for that game. The thing I found though also is not only is it important for games like Titanfall and the Call of Duties that have you jumping all over the shop, but it's also really important, I've found, when I've gone back to games like Halo and the boots on the ground Call of Duties, where you do jump and mantle and things like that, but it just seems to give you just a little bit of an edge over your opponent in gunfights when you're strafing side to side and you do need to jump to get around an obstacle, or maybe do like a little bunny hop to throw their aim off or something. You can do that and keep aiming, but if the opponent is jumping with A, then they're gonna have to take their thumb off the joystick and miss a shot or two or more, and you know, in a game like Halo, that counts for a lot. So this video has been a bit of a ramble on once again, but it just popped into my head the other day thinking about how much of a difference bumper jumping made to my FPS career. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I guess implore you to give it a try. Even if you've tried it, you don't like it, just maybe try it again. And especially if you play Titanfall or any other like modern first-person shooter, really recommend this. Not much more else to say really. Give it a try. Give me some feedback on what you guys think of it. If you do it already, or once you have tried it, then let me know what you guys think. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Cheers.